late-night adventures on the gridiron, and we all know anything can happen when you kick off after dark. Glad to have you with us in San Jose, California, home to the San Jose State Spartans. As we'll see a squad from the back, the Central Michigan Chippewas. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. So Central Michigan's offense will dial up the first ball plays in this one. But Jesse, it's always fun to see a guy who's been challenged, see if he can answer the bell and get things done.
Well, we talked to him this week, and he knows that people are out there questioning him. And I think that leaves a big chip on his shoulder, David. He wants to prove the entire college football world he's got what it takes to win this football game. This is a big test for him.
And here's the thing. Proving it is one thing, Jesse, but it's not about you. And this is a team game. Obviously, the quarterback position is so dependent on others' success, but play within yourself, make those plays, don't make the big mistakes.
From the gun, they'll try the middle. And how about the work up front by that big defensive line? Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. And the Chippewas are way behind the sticks on this 3rd and forever. Looking for a man, it's Labus. Fires one high and deep. Brings it down on the right side. There he goes. The tag, and he'll run it into the end zone. Touchdown, Chippewas. Well, that couldn't have gone any better.
It's so great for an offense to come out right out of the gate and score a touchdown on your opening drive. It just helps the offense establish that rhythm that is so important. It'll be interesting now to see how this offense does the remainder of this contest.
They get set for the point after as we have the first score of the game. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And the capper was a bolt of lightning, a touchdown pass from 84 yards out. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. Looks as if the returner will try and field this one. And a really nice job by the kick team to get down there and make sure they limit that return. So San Jose State's offense has its first opportunity of the day. Every team has impact players. What traits are you looking for when it comes to players who can make an impact, David?
Well, obviously, you want the main things, right? Speed, physicality, all power. All those things are really, really good. But you also need guys that will hold people accountable, guys that will lead. And it's nice to have those guys on your team. They're the leaders of the team, and they're the best players.
And part of the reason why they're leaders is because these guys galvanize their teammates, right? We've seen time and time again, these dudes make plays, and it just sparks the sideline. It sparks the coaching staff. It sparks the fans. They're special players, and they all have to play well today.
Finds the tight end. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
Well, your opponent scored on their opening drive, so obviously no need to panic. But I know, having been in this situation as a quarterback, you want to answer right away. So really good to see him making some nice throws here on their opening drive. He's going to try and see if he can get this thing tied up.
3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. That's caught. It's Aldridge. Really nice job to get it past the sticks, pick up the first down at the 30.
Well, after watching the other offense go down the field and score a touchdown, you know this guy's trying to lead his offense to do the exact same thing. That was a big 3rd down. I know there's a lot of football left to play, but you're trying to establish confidence as early as possible. That last throw is really going to help out your team.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
I like the idea by the quarterback there. You're trying to get this first down, so you find the tight end, see if he can make a guy miss or shake a tackle. Not able to get it done.
Backed up now, here's 2nd and long. Caught in the backfield, it's Coleman. Finally stopped at the 46 after a 15-yard gain.
First down for the offense.
The Spartans are moving quickly down the field. He'll pull it on the read. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
I think a lot of quarterbacks like those defenses that will be passive and let it slowly develop. Nah, this defense, you could tell, they were aggressive and attacking, and it really paid off.
And the Spartans with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. 2nd down, he'll throw it. And the defense gets home and makes a play at the 37-yard line.
And I love playing man coverage on the back end, getting in those receivers' faces. Don't let them feel comfortable and run zone where they can find all these holes in the zone and my rush can't get home. Pressure them, pressure them, pressure them.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. They'll send the tight end in motion. On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. Pulls it in, it's Riley. They stop him short of the sticks and it'll be 4th down.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on 3rd down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. Whoop-de-doo. You set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
Kick is in the air. He makes a fair catch just outside his own 10 at the 11-yard line. They'll try to put a drive together starting from their own 12. He'll ride his man on the option. Rides the back and leaves it. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
And that just looked off. The timing, the rhythm, I don't know what it was, but usually that option, man, it's so precise, right? Like really quickly making a read, and you could tell they weren't on the same page. It went absolutely nowhere. Defense won that rep.
He'll keep it himself. He stopped for no gain again. Back-to-back runs, and they have nothing to show for it except facing a 3rd and long. We've come to the end of the quarter, guys, and Central Michigan has the lead. And we've reached the end of one. Before we move on, let's take a look at our stats so far. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game in the 2nd quarter. If this offense had a little extra time to think about it, let's see what they have on 3rd down. Trying play action. And a sack all the way back at the 5.
Well, the offense got themselves into trouble. They're back in their own end. It's an obvious passing situation, so the defense is just pinning their ears back, and they're trying to get after him. They could not allow him to escape, step up, get rid of the football. They take a sack very close to the goal line.
The Chippewas decide to punt it away. It doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. Sometimes avoiding disaster is the best thing. The punter just gets it out of there. Not able to pop the big return, but they've got the ball back and ready to go with a fresh possession. So first play of the drive coming here from their own 49. The give to the tailback. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
This offense has really struggled, and I think you're just waiting for one play, one explosive play to happen to hopefully galvanize you a bit offensively. That's not the case, and there, they try to run the football in the first play of the drive, and it gets absolutely blown up for a loss.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Fires to the big fella. He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some distance there between him and the defense.
The Spartans line up, trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. They'll try to move the chains on the ground. Now with a great opportunity as they pick up the first down, they've got it at the 40.
Yeah, and I just need a crease. I need you offensive linemen, just like right here. Great job holding the point of attack. Don't let any penetration come in. Give me a little sliver, and then you see the running back, Palmer. He'll do the rest, lower his shoulder, and make sure he gets the first down.
Yeah, it means a lot to this offense, too, to have a guy like this that always just seems to fall forward. He always, in these short yardage situations, knows where that first down marker is, and he's able to get those hidden yards in piles, driving his legs to help keep this drive alive.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. Back to pass. Caught over the middle. It's Aldridge. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the first down marker.
You complete some of these hitch throws early, you're setting up the hitch and go. Later on, you can pump fake that, and then the receiver can pirouette right up the sideline. That might be a home run play for the offense.
And the Spartans come to the line on 3rd down, trying to keep this drive alive. They'll try to run for it. They've got enough for the first down, and they're in the red zone at the 20.
Well, this offense, they started the drive with great field position. They're being methodical here. They're not hitting the home run necessarily and scoring these big explosive touchdowns, but they're getting 3rd down conversions. They're staying on the field. They do a nice job there running the football. They look like they're in control. That's a good sign.
The Spartans are rolling down the field. Off the play fake on 1st down. And the defense, they've got him at the 27.
This defense, they are tenacious, and they've got guys up front that are athletic and that are so strong and then can collapse the pocket. You saw it right there in that play-action attempt.
And the Spartans now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. They'll send the back in motion. They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. Just a short pass to the tight end. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
Well, you hear all the time that the tight end's the QB's best friend. You saw a perfect example of it on that last play, right? 2nd down, you need to pick up some positive yards to keep this 3rd down manageable. Really nice job of executing that.
Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Got it! They will score! Touchdown, San Jose State!
Nice job putting a drive together. Nice job punctuating the end of the first half. There's still some time left, Palmer, but they can tie this thing up right now.
Yeah, and this is a stat that has so much confidence in their offense. I like staying aggressive right here, going for 2, taking the lead into halftime, and putting a ton of pressure on the opponent.
Looking for the tie with the extra point. And he puts through the extra point. That drive covered 57 yards for the touchdown. And the score comes on a 17-yard throw for the touchdown. Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. And a nice run there before the defense finally makes the stop.
And Winning first downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on first down that they're going to run the football. So them getting that big chunk, getting in second and short, not a good job by this defense.
The give to the back. Sweet cut there. They'll knock him down, and that'll take us to halftime. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Guys, who's had a better seat there in San Jose than you have? A captivating game so far. And that defense has to feel like it just played about as close to a perfect first half as it can play. And who am I to argue? I mean, check out that scoreboard. Bone-crushing hits and an airtight secondary. Feels like they have 12, 13 dudes out there against that offense, which needs a real pick-me-up and fast. And with that, let's send it back to the guys at Seth Hughes Stadium.
Just about set to put toe to leather as we are deadlocked here in the third. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. They'll snap the ball. First play of the drive coming from their own 24. To the air on first down. Fires to the big fella. And they pick up just a few on that completion. Look, you can't take away everything, right? So you give them that and rally and make a solid tackle.
Yeah, and a lot of times in zone coverage, I like when I can get all the eyes on the quarterback. I like when I can see the routes and see him develop in the middle. And you could tell they had keys on the tight end. He wasn't going anywhere after he caught that football.
Got a man. It's Smith. And he gets it up to the 36. It'll be a first down.
When you run those drag routes, it just takes a little bit of know-how. And when I say that, the receiver's got to understand, find space. My quarterback's going to find me. He's looking for that space at the same time. Nice throw, nice catch. Way to get the first down.
They'll snap it from the 36. They've got a first down. Looking to throw on first down. That's reeled in. It's Riley. And he's to the 48-yard line. That'll be good enough for a first down. The Spartans come to the line with a new set of downs. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Listen, that wasn't the greatest run in the world, but it was very successful, and you're making me honor the run. And another thing, every time you run the football, someone gets tackled. There's physicality involved in the game. So I like when offenses commit to the running the football, no matter what the outcome is, because those body blows do add up.
To the air on 2nd down. Fires to the middle. Got his man downfield. And they explode on that one, and they've got it down to the 22. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Looking to throw on first down. And wings it incomplete. Got a good one going here. All tied up in the third. It's 2nd and 10. They'll try the run. He'll be pulled down after a good run. They'll mark it at the 15.
And a nice job by the running back, finding space, getting downhill, making the good run. Great job finishing with his pads.
And the Spartans are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Looking to throw for it. And here comes the heat, and they get home, and they get him at the 21.
Oh, that's a missed opportunity. You know the quarterback was excited. He saw man coverage. He thought he was going to have an opportunity to come up with a big play, but up front, they could not protect him well enough.
They'll send out the kicker to try to salvage this drive. He'll try to knock it through from 38 yards out. Absolutely perfect. And with that, they've taken the lead. After that last field goal drive, they're set to kick it away. He'll start the return inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. A designed run for the quarterback. Stop behind the line, he'll lose a yard.
And this offense on first down, man, they go backwards. And they built a deficit, and they've been sluggish. And they just need something to get going, to get started, because they've kind of looked out of sorts and out of rhythm this whole game.
After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. He'll do it himself. He's past the 30. Wide open spaces. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36.
This is an offense that can move the sticks in a whole lot of different ways. Now you're seeing it on the option here. Great job by the quarterback. Reading the defense, there's nobody there taking him, so he puts his foot in the ground, he gets upfield, and he's got really nice elusiveness once he's out in the open field. He shows you that on that explosive play, picking up the first.
And he gets it just beyond the line of scrimmage before he gets down.
As a defensive guy now, you're always zoomed in on the quarterback. I mean, these guys, whether they're throwing the football or running it, at least they have the football in their hands every time. You know where they're going to be. You focus in. The defense locked and loaded, understand what they were trying to accomplish, doing a good job getting to the quarterback, and then make those physical hits count. Finish those tackles with aggressive hits. Make that quarterback feel you for a whole length of a game.
This offense hasn't been able to generate a lot of points in this one. Here in the third quarter, you're seeing the defense and how much pride they take on being physical. It's not just stopping the run. Guys in the back end flying to the football in the air, getting hits on guys, that time on the receiver, knocking it loose.
They bring him down at the 44-yard line. It'll be 4th down, but this might be prime go-for-it territory. We've come to the end of the period, and San Jose State is on top. They've done the work to build a nice cushion. Now to bring it home as we check out the stats after 3 quarters. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the 4th. Tight game, final period, and this crowd plans to finish strong. It's dropped, and oh, what a tough way to end this drive. They thought they had a good plan, but it did not work. They'll start this drive going to the air. Quickly out to the tight end.
I'll tell you, I love the play call on first down here. You're just trying to find an easy completion, and the shortest throw on the field for the quarterback is finding your biggest target, and that's the tight end. Nice job.
The Spartans come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Caught near the sticks. It's Riley. Oh, he's got some space. Stopped just inside the 25. We'll mark it at the 24. Pickup of 10 and a 1st down.
First down for the offense.
New set of downs after the completion. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Working that left side now. And he's able to bounce off one tackle, but still not a whole lot of running room. Sometimes it's not about a fancy play design. It's about just getting him the ball and letting him play.
Especially nowadays with running backs being so good out of the backfield. You know they're going to catch it, and there's so many ways to use them, but exactly. Get it to him, let him break tackles, let him make plays. Easy decision.
He's got it on the move. Brought down after the catch at the 4-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal.
This is so interesting right now watching this offense stay aggressive. They've got the lead in the 4th quarter, and you're thinking at home, we got to just run the ball and try to bleed the clock. They found something on defense they're taking advantage of. 2 straight completions. I won't be surprised if they throw it again.
Looking to throw again. Fires into the end zone. Touchdown, Spartan. Grab the short pass to put the 6 on the board.
I like the aggressive play calling by the offensive coordinator on that drive as well. There are a lot of coaches that would have played it very conservative, very close to the vest, run the ball, and punt it away, count on your defense, not this guy. He was going to take some shots, count on his own guys to get it done, and now with that touchdown late, they've got a 2-possession lead.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And with the extra point, they're now up by a touchdown and a field goal at 10. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they cap the drive with a 4-yard touchdown pass. They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. From inside his own 10, he'll try to help out their field position. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. From the gun, the running back tries to hit the hole. He's stuffed after picking up 1 to the 23.
It's definitely too early to panic, but there's some bad feelings going on for this offense right now. You're way down on the scoreboard. I know we're still in the first half, but after that last play, it's pretty obvious. You can't run the ball. You're becoming a one-dimensional offense at a time when you need to be able to score some points. So either get it done through the air or you've got to be more physical up front.
He moves the chains, and they'll mark the ball at the 33.
I know we're a long way up here in the booth, but guys, y'all remember that ball you could throw that whistled? That thing was whistling. It had so many RPMs on it.
Clock stops, and we've reached the 2-minute timeout. This offense looking for anything to cut into this big lead. With the first down, they'll put it in play from the 33. Looking to throw, it's Labus. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down.
Well, there have been way too many incompletions for this offense in this game. That's a big reason why they're trailing, obviously. They've never been able to get into a rhythm, and at this juncture here on a 2-minute situation in your own end, you got to find ways to start throwing completions somewhere out on the field to get back in this game.
After the incompletion, they go back up top. This one's complete. And they get to him and knock him down to prevent a bigger gain. They immediately call timeout, trying to preserve every second they can to try to rally here late. And the Chippewas are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. They'll throw on 3rd and short. He wants a big play here late. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
Normally, I would say 4th and short on your own side of the field, you punt the ball away, but we're in the 4th quarter, and they need to keep this drive going to win. I say go for it.
Down by multiple possessions, you can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on 4th down. On the move. Running into the open space. Got all he needed for the first down, and then he gets down on the slide. So going for it on 4th down is one thing. Quite another to say we're going to run it for a couple.
Yeah, that's impressive because that was a long 2 yards. And I think there are a lot of coaching staffs out there that would have probably tried to throw it or get their quarterback on the perimeter or give them a run-pass option, but not this offense. They believe in their guys up front to get down in a three-point stance and drive off the ball, and it works out.
The Chippewas have it with a 1st and 10. Dropping back, it's Lavis. Here's a heat. Quick timeout call by the offense after the play, trying to preserve every minute possible. Big loss on the last play threatens to knock this drive off course. It's 2nd and 16. Looking to fire. They're working that left side. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a 1st down.
Picks up 7. 3rd down coming.
It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Out of the backfield, he's open. They make the stop about 4 yards short of the 1st down.
You just get the feeling this defense is going to make it hard on them, right? They've got the lead, it's late, and they're going to try to tackle everybody inbounds. Offense is going to have to really work for this and be smart. You got to attack the sidelines. You got to throw 1st downs. You got to keep this thing moving vertically down the field.
Unloads it left. Big man has it. It's a 1st down and more. The offense gets the timeout. 12 ticks left on the clock.
Hey, I got to be honest. I don't know if the defense was expecting that type of throw on 4th down. It looked like they were all huddled close to the line of scrimmage, looking for something in the quick game, but instead the quarterback takes a shot vertically down.
And he's got it. A late touchdown. Probably window dressing, but still a sliver, albeit very slight, of hope.
It's not over yet. There's still a little bit of time on the clock. Obviously, that score gives you a chance, but man, oh man, do you need some miracles to happen, some way to get this football back and do some damage with it.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And the PAT will draw them 1 point closer. They put it in the end zone with a 12-play scoring drive. And it was finished off with a 2-yard touchdown toss. Here's the situation. First, they have to recover the onside kick, then maybe time for a play or two.
Yeah, and this is why you put your hands team on the field most of the time. When you know it's coming and you put those guys that are great catchers in the football. The first guys, what do? They go block. They go blow somebody up. The next guys catch the football, secure it, get your butt on the ground. And most of the time when you do this, the ball game is over.